So, I wanted to make a new video about the torque converter. So we talked about it before, about how we were going to release a torque converter for the Ecodiesel. Well, it's finally happening. The torque converter is going out tomorrow, and it is going to be modified, and then it will be put in my truck where it will be tested out. What we're offering moving forward for people is a torque converter. Well, I should put it this way. So the factory stall, through testing, we found the factory flash point of the stall is 2200 RPMs. So given that, it would be a safe assumption to say that the stall is 2000 to 2200 RPMs is a given range. Now, we are planning to lower the stall 300 to 400 RPMs. This will make the stall roughly 1600 to 1800 RPM range. Now, when you look at the dyno charts of the factory Ecodiesel, 1600 to 1800 is where the torque starts to come on. So by allowing the torque converter to stall out earlier on, it means that you make maximum amount of torque sooner. It also means that you have more available torque at a lower RPM. This will allow the transmission to run cooler. This will allow you better drivability around town. This will make it easier for towing trailers. And this will actually also help you prevent your engine from lugging and tearing up the bearings and the crank. So this all around is going to be a massive benefit for Ecodiesel owners to have installed on their vehicles. This is going to be something that is going to be up there with the top modifications to do to your vehicle. So after we get this first one on hand and test it out, we are going to start stocking them. Now, when this one is pulled apart, we are going to check to see if there's any modifications that we can do to the factory torque converter other than reinstalling it to maybe make it stronger, or any other modification is that. We are using a very, very well-known and respectable torque converter company to do this work for us. So we are going to be very happy with the results. And before I even get a chance to say, before I even get a chance to test it, I'm excited because I know how much better that's going to make the Ecodiesels go. On top of that, the Ecodiesel dyno graph that, like I shared in my post today, shows the new Ecodiesel and the old Ecodiesel dyno graphs, and they start to come on between 1600 and 1800 RPMs. Now, with that being said, we are going to try to put a truck on the dyno and lock it into a gear and see if we can get the dyno to read down that low of an RPM. And we're going to run one stock, and we're going to run one tuned, and see where that hits as well. And we have a feeling that, so my dyno sheet isn't until a higher RPM, so we can't see what happens earlier on. But what we see on my dyno sheets is that I have more available torque all the way across the board, which means in theory my torque comes on a little bit sooner than the factory, meaning it would benefit even more from a modified stall. So with that being said, if you're interested in getting one of these stall converters for your vehicle before we even get it back and test it out, because I already know it's going to be good. I'm sending my personal one out to get built. So I highly recommend it for anyone else, especially people that want to keep their engines more reliable. But please go ahead and get a hold of me, and hopefully we can get a few more people out there with these stalls in their vehicles and show some amazing results.